we're going to find the asymptote lines between 0 and 180 for different secant functions. So the first thing I'm going to do is write secant of theta equals 1 over cosine. Okay, all this means is that I can't divide by 0. You divide by 0, that's undefined, so that generates an asymptote line. So what I'm going to do first is draw a cosine, and then draw my secant graph. So if I just kind of sketch cosine here, this would be 1, negative 1. And here's your cosine. I'm going from 0 to 2 pi here. Your secant lines are right here, because this is where you divide by 0, you'll get an undefined. And I can go ahead and draw a secant. You should be already familiar with the secant graph, but you really don't need it to answer this question. All you need to know is what the lines of secant are. That is the asymptote lines. So for secant, the asymptote lines are x equals pi over 2 and x equals 3 pi over 2. Now, when you have something like secant of 4 theta, that is merely 1 over cosine of 4 theta. And all you have to do is take your secant lines here and divide them by 4. So the secant lines for secant of 4 theta would be x equals pi over 2 divided by 4, and x equals 3 pi over 2 divided by 4. This gives you pi over 8, and this one gives you 3 pi over 8. Now both of these lines are in between 0 and pi. So both of these answers will suffice between, we want our asymptote line to be between 0 and 2 pi. I mean, just pi. So both those answers work. So let's do a couple more. Let's try secant of 3 theta and secant of 2 theta. And all we're looking for is asymptote lines. So we know for our parent function, it is pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. All we're going to do is take these and divide by 3. And what you get is pi over 6 and 3 pi over 6, which is just pi, well, I'll just write it out, which equals pi over 2. Both of these work because we want our secant line to, our new secant line to be between 0 and pi for both of these. Let's try one more. We know for the parent function, it's x equals pi over 2 and x equals 3 pi over 2. So just divide both of these by 2 and you get x equals pi over 4. And this one would be x equals 3 pi over 4. Now this works if we're in between 0 and pi. Okay, so both of these work. And that's all. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.